Today we're continuing the... No, stop the music. We're not doing that. Today we're continuing the Game Over series with the next 37 games. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Game Overs. So the strategy for Bust-A-Move 2 Arcade Edition was very straightforward. Just mash the A button and lose 3 times, run out of credits, and then it's a game over. Bust-A-Move 99 was more of the same. However, it was even faster because the game has infinite continues. I just had to lose once, and then it was game over. Up next, we have one of the many Midway arcade racing games, California Speed. This one is incredibly straightforward. Just don't get any checkpoints, and after 5 races, it's over. In all likelihood, this will be the only time you ever hear me give a compliment to Carmageddon 64. At least getting a game over is easy and quick. That's it, this game is awful. We've got Castlevania up next, and this is another very easy and straightforward game over. Just run into the first group of skeletons and let them kill you. Castlevania Legacy of Darkness is up next, and just like with the first game, just run into the first enemy you see and let him kill you. He does even more damage, so it's even faster in this game. Keeping it going with the nice and easy game overs, we've got Chameleon Twist 1. Since there's infinite lives, I just said dying once was good enough. We've got Chameleon Twist 2 up next, and keeping the trend going with nice and easy game overs. Since there's infinite lives, it's just die once and that's game over. Our first puzzle game is up next in Charlie Blast's territory. And it's still another mad easy game over. Just don't solve the puzzle, and you lose. My initial plan for Chopper Attack was just to run out of fuel, since on level 1 the enemies barely do any damage to you. Luckily I found an enemy that eventually did kill me, but it still took over 5.5 minutes. The first of the 2 Clay Fighter games is up next, and it's another fighting game with infinite continues, so just lose once, and it's game over. The first of the 2 Clay Fighter games is up next, and it's another fighting game with infinite continues, so just lose once, and it's game over. I thought Command & Conquer was going to take quite a few minutes to lose. However, I found a mission that you just control a few tanks, and if they get destroyed you lose. So I did that mission and lost. Up next, we have one of our longest games so far in Conkers Bad Fur. Several unskippable cutscenes and multiple lives lend itself to a game that takes over 8.5 minutes just to get a game over. I decided to put the Crusin games in order of release date, so Crusin USA was first. And this one has one of the most abrupt game overs I've ever seen. You lose, and it's just back to the title screen. Up next is the second game in the Crusin series, Crusin World. And just like its predecessor, you just don't move, don't get any checkpoints, run out of time, and it's game over. The third and final Crusin game, Cruz Exotica, really changes up the formula. By not getting any checkpoints and running out of time, you get a game over. Up next is the first of the 4 golf games, Cyber Tiger, and this one is pretty simple. Just come in last place in the tournament, and you lose. It's incredibly quick and easy to lose in Daikatana. All you have to do is die once, and that's it. Another game over. Since Dark Rift is a fighting game that has infinite continues, I decided that losing once was good enough to qualify as a game over. Two quick fighting games back to back. Deadly Arts also has infinite continues, so losing once and choosing not to continue is as good as it gets. One of the shortest racing games for the Game Over Challenge, Destruction Derby 64, doesn't even take 2 minutes. We've got another racing game right after too, in Diddy Kong Racing, and this one you have to sit through an opening cutscene, and it's a little bit longer of a race to lose. A little bit of a time-consuming game over, but an easy one nonetheless. Donald Duck's going quackers, you just gotta lose all your lives, and that's it. Another game over. So getting a game over in Donkey Kong 64 took a lot longer than I expected. You have to do all the training missions first, and then you have to go to DK Isles before you can take any damage. And I said we had to die at least once before we got a game over, just like with Banjo-Tooie. And here we have arguably the shortest game over of them all. Doom 64 is incredibly easy to lose. You just shoot an explosive barrel and hope you take enough damage, and if you don't, the enemies will finish you off in no time. And we've got another incredibly quick game over right after in Dr. Mario 64. You just lose once, and that's it. Another game over. Up next, we've got Dual Heroes, another fighting game with infinite continues. So, we just lose once and don't continue, and it's another game over. The AI is not so good in this one, so it took a little longer. Up next, we have one of my favorite games on the console, Duck Dodgers starring Daffy Duck. And this game over is incredibly easy. Just jump off the cliff 5 times. That's it. We've got the first of the Duke Nukem games up next, and this one's incredibly easy and straightforward. Just shoot the explosives, take some damage from the fall, let the enemies kill you, and within 35 seconds, it's a game over. Following that, we have the other Duke Nukem game, Duke Nukem 0 Hour, and this one takes a little bit longer since there's an opening cutscene and you have to navigate through a military base. Then, you just let the enemies kill you, and it's a game over. Earthworm Jim 3D couldn't even get giving you a quick game over right. Falling down bottomless pits? No, that doesn't kill you. So I just sat there and let these explosives run into me for about 10 minutes, and then eventually I got a game over. Getting a game over in ECW Hardcore Revolution actually was kind of a challenge. I had multiple attempts where I just won by trying to lose, but eventually we got a really quick game over. The first of the Elmo games, Elmo's Letter Adventure, is incredibly easy and straightforward. Just pick the hard difficulty, pick the wrong letters, and you lose. We had a revolutionary strategy for Elmo's Number Journey. It was the exact same as Elmo's Letter Adventure. And here we have another of the you have to finish every race to get a game over games. It's Excitebike 64, and it takes just under 15 minutes. And the final game for part 2 is Extreme G. This is another very easy and straightforward game over, and thankfully we don't have to lose a whole bunch of races. Just lose one race and it's game over. And that's going to do it for part number 2. This set of games didn't even take 2 hours. Doesn't get any faster than that. That being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Who's the man?